So you guys, we're gonna have a little bullshit session here, and I'm sorry about the wind, but Lace is enjoying it. And either way, I'm gonna think very clearly and thoroughly. And I thought I was just doing this, but obviously I wasn't doing it because I didn't push the fucking button. So it'll fast up for you guys' sake, I guess. Definition of love, meaning of love, and what your interpretation of love is. Everybody has their own way and their own means to be able to interpret in their head, in one way or another, what their meaning or their definition of love is. So nobody can really judge somebody if somebody says that they love somebody and you don't think that that's love from an outside perspective looking in, which I get. People do have the right to be able to express their opinion about something. But where my head's been fucked up is the fact that, one, coming to realize that everybody's definition or meaning of love is different in their own analogy of, or not analogy, but their own belief of what love should look like or what it is. I know full-heartedly, 100%, I can truly, fully say that I love Gina. I've been in love with Gina for quite some time. And there's a difference between being in love with somebody and just loving somebody. And even now what I'm learning, or even just having love for somebody. And I've not shown my love in many different ways. And I am guilty of not doing everything that I can, or to where my acts or my words or whatever it may be has shown other people in their opinion, or that even shown me, maybe not at that time, maybe not, but that some of the things I've done is the opposite of love. And what it boils down to is being able to be mature like this right now and just say, hey man, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. And my mistake was the fact that I have a hard time processing, understanding, and I guess accepting certain things, or even just in point blank period, bottom line change. And I know that a lot of my stuff that I've shown comes from pain, and that's after the other emotions that go through, like the whatever 5-7 stages of grief or whatever they talk about, right? And when you go through a split up, you go through those stages. So you may want to part with your partner, you may want to do that stuff, and they may want to. But the definition and meaning of love within those people's minds and heart, most likely they're going to end up trying to work it out or become back, like get back together or whatever it may be, right? Because you want to believe in that love, you want to believe in that. And for me, I didn't understand the difference between other people's meaning of love and my meaning of love. And everybody can have their bad times and be able to, do things that don't show love, because everybody's not perfect. But at the same time, I've been hurt, and I still do hurt. It's a different type of hurt. It's I don't know how to explain it. I really don't, because I'm still trying to process it. With me going to the coast and being to do this, as you can tell, I'm giving deep thought into a lot of things. And I've been giving myself the self-inventory, perspective, and accountability for quite a while, many months. Sometimes I'm too hard on myself. But am just now able to recognize that. Do I want to waste my time right now on figuring out what I'm too hard on? No, I don't. Because right now in my life, I'm trying to heal, and I'm trying to start fresh for myself. And whether or not that is with somebody or not with somebody, my first statement was I'm having a fresh start with myself. And I'm able to recognize that. And that is a big, huge thing, because the fact is that, I called my father this last week. And I was, because I've been analyzing this. And, I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know what was going to come about it. But there was something that was greater than me and powerful than what, because I've never done this. And I picked up that phone and I called my dad. And I started getting emotional. And what I said to my dad was, Dad, I don't know why I fucking live my life the way I do. I don't know what's wrong with me, and I don't know if it's going to be able to be fixed. And I know that you've done your part as a dad to tell me and show me that you're there. And maybe I don't need to understand why it is that I wanted to live alone and be alone, and felt that being alone is the safest, better way to live life. And regardless, I wouldn't be able to recognize that if it wasn't for Gina. I did pick up the phone. She had nothing to do with that. What I'm talking about is being able to recognize and at least have an open mind now to where I don't want to be alone. I don't believe that everybody's out to hurt you. I don't believe that everybody's out to use you. Hang on, we're going through a tunnel. Yeah, there was a tunnel, so I don't believe that everybody is out. And with that being said, I said, Dad, I don't know how to be able to do this, but I want a relationship with you. I want to be able to fucking be involved. I don't want to feel the awkward, strange feeling of what I'm feeling right now, or what I felt before I picked up the phone. And I know it's not nothing to do with him. This is all about me. And to know that he encouraged me, just like he's always been fucking. And so every week now I'm going to be calling my dad just to say hi, but I got sidetracked there with that. But it was going in regards to the things that need to be addressed or understood. Is that when I started YouTube, it was for DBT skills, direct behavioral thinking. It was for documenting my kids, and it was being able to, it was actually like a therapist recommendation. Because YouTube has the like internal storage cloud of videos or whatever it may be, right? And I didn't realize what I was getting into. Years later, I'm still on YouTube, and yeah. Sorry, intermission time that was, and you guys didn't even miss me one bit, because why? It's an hour of the video, no. So, again, I apologize for the weather, and the wind and shit blowing, but, yeah, I had to take an intermission for a moment. Needless to say, I know that I haven't expressed what some people would believe is love by doing things, or saying things, or whatever it may be, that made other people question or judge my love for anybody else, but I'm talking about for Gina. And the fact is that you don't know something until you learn it, or you don't know something until you know something different. However it is that you need to say to get that through. So what I'm trying to get is that you can grow up in a home and an environment, you can, whatever it is, and you think that that's normal. But you always hear other people talk about, you know, no, they're normal. They're like, okay, that's all the same thing as like a definition of what love is. And I want to say that, do I have pain because of what's happened with me and Gina? Of course. You guys have seen, most of you guys have seen things and have even spoke out about, in many ways, without even coming across judgmental, just letting it be known about your guys' opinion, which has helped me be able to understand that just because somebody says that it's not something doesn't mean that it's not. And most people will go back and forth in a relationship because they believe in that love and they believe that. And the thing is that I remember exactly what Gina was wearing that day. I remember when she, and I can't say that about many people. I can say like where I met him at, how I know him, how we crossed paths or whatever, you know, around the year or whatever, but I remember that day very fucking clear. There was something about it that obviously has made me even talk about right now about how, and to know that that was just a stranger, you know what I'm saying? And it was like it was different. It was like, I don't even know how, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it because and needless to say, there was no ill intent on any, it was just a stranger or whatever, and then she was to herself, you know what I'm saying? Like, she came over with a friend, she was just like, and I was the, like, person that was just like, holy fuck, like, what, I was, and, yeah, long story short, you know, how I first actually came down there to visit or whatever, and, how I didn't realize, you know, about, I didn't take into consideration the depth of what other people can go through or whatever. And, you know, to know that Gina has a strong desire. Gina's a very strong woman. Gina is very resourceful. Gina, and that being said, there was just an agreement of, like, basically I was off to a negative part in my life, maybe not even living, and I didn't want no relationship. I was just willing to help somebody. So that being said, you know, led into a relationship, led into, and fast forward where we're at right now, which has got a lot of people, or some people, questioning, wondering, trying to internalize, even possibly like, how can that even happen? And again, we're going to resource back to, I can break it down if people want to know about the YouTube politics and fucking little fucking shit that YouTube, of why it's okay. Doesn't mean that it's okay. If you get what I'm saying, like something can be okay to other people, but it's not okay to other people because of what somebody's values or beliefs are, right? That's what it boils down to. And I have held on to a thing of, one, keeping my word. And I made a promise to one of her family members that I would do everything I could, and I promised to keep her safe. And I allowed that to, but yet am I just blaming that excuse for me to not recognize what the facts are. And what I'm saying about that is that nobody, but for me, with how my brain works, I didn't realize it until it was already a thing of, is that, and that was when I held it in for a while, and then finally was able to have the opportunity and the chance to communicate with that family member. And that person didn't realize that they knew that I was somebody that worried about my work, worried about, and that person even apologized and and full-heartedly, but like didn't know that was something that was a looked upon thing in my own internal self of being a failure. And realizing that failure also in return meant that I failed Gina. And I've held on to that. I still do hold on to that. It's like it just takes the breath out of my chest right now. Because the last thing anybody wants to do is fucking fail someone. You know what I'm saying? Because it hurts. Not just the person that was let down, or maybe that person doesn't even feel that there was a failure. But we all live within ourselves, and we all have to process our emotions and feelings by ourselves, and however long it takes to do that. And I'm the type of person that can't hold on to things, because then I become more self-destructive and more unpredictable. And there's spring water. That being said, I don't want people to think that I'm just fucking posting shit to like revenge or whatever. It's not that. It's also the fact where a lot of people have seen what's been going on for a while, and I was the one that chose to, just like she could say, no, I was the one that chose, because why? The fact is that it got to the point to where two people that were supposed to be a team and be that at some point in some time it turned into I'm the one that made that choice, I'm the one that made that decision, I'm the one that, and then that's when you have to recognize that a lot of things have also failed when it's two people trying to be on the same team and have the same common goal or mission in life, and planning on being together for life. And so I don't look at it as a blame or I'm looking at it right now that it's badass that I'm able to recognize that, and I'm able to actually have the time and the ability with where I'm at in my life right now to be able to take this step for when I jump in the ocean. I'm able to do and start my fresh life. So I owe an apology, and it's probably I'm doing it through YouTube because Why? Because that's what it's boiled down to, is like the aspect of keeping things real, why I started YouTube, the responses or the I don't even know, ignorance, or I don't know the right word to say, made it to where it makes it, I guess, okay. And regardless, it is something that is partially, because I have to say that because of certain that it's content, it's created content. Is it something that me and Gina were on the same page about that? No, it wasn't. It's not. But at the same time, the, I guess, agreed upon, or the fucking remarks, or the rebuttal facts are the acknowledgement and encourage. And yet at the same time, I still don't feel that things have been right, even to where it gets into my head more about like entities of governments that do certain things and allow certain things, and to know that if you can't see something physically, or a way that makes it to where you actually believe and know that it's there, because that's what faith is, right? And so that being said, fuck, dude, snow and shit. I've gotten myself to this point, bottom line. I'm the one that's going to end, and I shouldn't have to explain it to anybody else. And it shouldn't even be something that's like trying to make it more softer or whatever, because it's not a soft issue. It's not something that is, because why? Because I do have mental health diagnoses, and I do my damn best to deal with those, manage them, maintain them, all that. Slowly but surely, change happened. Started. Change is still going. Everything changes all the time. And where that change was one, that I was open to the option of even offering a stranger some crazy shit that I offered, just because I felt compassion or felt empathy, and I will never ever regret or not want to feel empathy or compassion for somebody. And that's where I didn't want to go to. And when you start feeling your inability to, I guess, manage your emotions or recognize your emotions and be able to keep in line with what you want as an internal person, or a person, you know, what you value. And so that being said, I didn't fail myself. I may be able to recognize that I feel that I failed somebody else or other people. I can't expect them to take any confusion or any type of feeling whatsoever away by telling me that they... So, what is one to do? They're supposed to be able to better themselves every day. And that being done, I'm off to, you know, jump in the ocean. And I know fully that I loved you, and I know that I may always have, because of just even from as simple as being able to recognize still what she looked like when she came in, and what, like, I remember a bit, like, I can just fucking, even with my eyes open, I can just, I see it, just replaying. And that, like, that replay that happens so often, has so many emotions and so many feelings and history that go all piled up into one just by remembering what how you met her and how. So that doesn't make love either. And I didn't know truly what love was until I got with Gina. I was opened up to an experience that was the best of both worlds, I guess you could say. I don't know how to explain it. Her family is one of the most loving families that I've ever come across. They're the most understanding, or even down to the most supportive I've seen within a family. And support comes in all different forms, but to know that I had the blessing and I was blessed to be able to have the opportunity that I did and have the time that I did. And I need to accept the fact that people do pass away. People do leave. And the family doesn't owe a goddamn thing to any of the, just from where I'm, and I have had such a negative perspective of my failures that I've allowed that to eat me up, like guilt to eat me up, and be able to just tear me apart, and me holding it and bottling it in, where I was doing that self-destruction and trying to make me. And I guess when you can't, I can't fathom the fact that I'm this old, I guess, and realizing that all of my emotions and all that stuff that I'm talking about and everything that wraps up within that it's okay to let go. It's okay to even let go while still holding on. Whatever it is that you need to do to realize that yourself, myself, me, and I haven't been okay, and I am making progress. I'm doing better, but at the same time, I can't hold on everything and take it so internally, and take the mental restraint of being the one that is responsible or blamed or whatever. I know what I've done wrong. I know that I haven't done things perfectly right. I know that people will say whatever they want, talk about whatever they want, but no way at all do I feel that Gina's a bad person. Just like they say, like, you just made a bad mistake, or you made a bad choice, or whatever. That doesn't make you that person. And that alone, I just want to say that if for whatever reason it got to the point to where I felt comfortable enough to post videos and express what my process of thinking is, or even just that I was thinking that or whatever. There's no way to be able to be fucking negligent or target Gina at all. It's not. It's more the fact of people have to be heard, and they may not be able to know how to like articulate their words like I'm trying very hard to do, and I'm not being able to do it. You have to have time to understand what that person is, who that person is, and understand that there's also two individuals that have a history of every type of fucking thing you can think of, and they have a past of everything that you can probably think of. And other people have their lives that other people can't think of too. But that's what I'm saying is like Gina's family opened it, and I know fully in my heart that I do love Gina, and I am grateful to have experienced the time with her. I don't wish her no ill will. I don't wish her anything like that whatsoever. I have always, even through the times of the split ups, have supported her being with Ben, and have supported her in you know, she was able to even listen to just a friend's opinion and not argue about it or not, just actually listen to it. And so I can't change the fact, for whatever reason. Bottom line, I feel the way that I didn't have a choice in being able to change the relationship to where it wasn't going, like, there was no way that there was nothing else I could have done on my part at all to do anything to change Gina's perspective or feelings of how she has experienced her pain and her. And when a friend gives an opinion or does something to that nature, they should be able to talk about it. They should be able to whatever. And so it boils down to the facts that, yeah, we're not able to communicate. There's no mutual type of respect of understanding the other person's perspective or the other, you know, and it's not about justifying your actions or anything like that at all. Because obviously there wouldn't be, and if you continuously run from something that keeps being brought up and you keep running into that brick wall, but you need to get past that brick wall, you're going to find a way around it, you know. And there's no way around the fact that I've hurt Gina's feelings. I've let her down in her eyes. I've done the most horrible things that fucking in her eyes. That's how she fucking, you know, whether or not her details, whatever it is, that have how that gets expressed or whatever, is it my responsibility to clear up somebody's or dispute what somebody else said or whatever just because they wanted to say it or they wanted it? Okay. I have been asked, you know, like take down the videos, and I've explained to her that one, they were both paid for it. One, they were not advised of it, and then on top of that, even there was an encouragement afterwards. But I still understand that even that, it's not a vindictive thing to be able to keep it up, the reason why I have to stick with what I'm doing is I need to get better. And bottom line, the fact is that while I was needing to get better, COVID and all that stuff happened. At that time also, there was major changes that went upon Gina herself, and that's when I started actually that I can recognize started actually being gaslighted and was falling apart even more, not being able to recognize it. And the falling apart more was because of the fact that there was unstableness. There was already things that were going on, like the eviction of the house, and then moving, and then living in the trailer park. And all those things were just change after change after change. And those changes kept coming because of the fact that there was two people that were claiming that they wanted a certain way of life, but the hidden stuff, I guess, made it to where they had different perspectives on how to go by or go through that. And I understand that Gina feels that I was trying to change her into whatever it was that stopped her from being who she wanted to be. And that was never my point. I don't intend nor do I try to control anybody. There's things called boundaries, and trust me, those boundaries have been bent, broken, looked over, forgiven many times. Which is why also I'm responsible for allowing more chaos and more unstableness, because I was bending and adjusting to those. Because if you think that you find love, and if you end up feeling stuff and seeing stuff that is like, whoa, this is real like love, and you feel something that you haven't felt before, and you recognize that, then there's always, and if it happens quick or whatever it is, then you have to be able to believe that that love is going to get stronger and it's going to get better, or it's going to be able to open up your eyes or your perspective to even more meanings or more things of love. And for that to happen, you have to have two people that are willing to accept the fact and be honest with themselves, even if they love that other person. And I know that Gina's not in love with me. I know that she hasn't been in love with me for a while. I've been the person that's been in love, and I have been the person that has held on hope. And however Gina felt the need to really actually like make it to where make it to where the ties were cut or whatever it may be, she felt the need to do it that way. And that's very painful to experience. It's very hurt, like, and there's no justification of nothing, me being alone and always processing that and doing the same thing over and over. That becomes insanity. So I wish Gina the best. I wish her the very, very best. I wish that there was a lot of things. We can all wish a lot of things. But the fact is that I don't mean for anybody to have a different opinion about Gina or look down or whatever. But you also have to remember that that's addicts trying to, their reality, you know what I'm saying? Like when an addict, they have their own different, yeah.